Hey guys, it's Drac, and I want to weigh in on an argument. The argument comes up frequently across various Nerf sites and forums, and the argument is, what is the best Nerf revolver slash sidearm right now on the market today? So your best sidearm for power is always going to be one of the single shot blasters. That's not what we're talking about. We are talking about revolvers, and the argument always boils down to, is the Hammershot or the Strongarm better? And that's it almost boils down to personal preference, but I'm going to give you my personal preference, and then you guys can duke it out in the comment section below and kind of let me know where you stand on it. So first off, they're from different lines. The Hammershot is part of the Zombie Strike line. It's a little bit newer than the Strongarm. The Strongarm is part of the In-Strike Elite line and performs very nicely. That said, performance for both blasters roughly on par. Ranges are very similar. Initial velocities are very similar, so we have to talk about some feature differences. First off, price. The Strongarm vacillates usually hovering at around $10 American, whereas the Strongarm, or the Hammershot, usually is a little bit more, floating around $14-15. So it's a little bit more expensive and has one less shot. So the question then becomes like, Drac, why would you ever go with a Hammershot when the Strongarm has an extra shot? Well, there are a few reasons that I lean towards the Hammershot camp, and we'll get to the definitive, in my opinion, argument-ending reason in a moment. But first, we'll kind of go through the motions. So the Hammershot and the Strongarm are roughly the same thickness, Hammershot being a little bit thinner and having an overall sleeker profile, making it that much easier to holster either on your thigh or in a rig. I have two underneath my arms right now in an Apex weapon system rig, which is an excellent way to carry Hammershots. I feel I use it for Humans vs. Zombies, I use it for Sambo, and I really enjoy it. That said, you can do a lot of the same things with a Strongarm. You do need a larger holster to do it, but weight and size roughly compatible. Strongarm being a little bit shorter, and then they're roughly the same depth. As far as handles go, the Hammershot has that really annoying Zombie Strike tape that's not real, so it's like the fake wrap on the handle, whereas the Strongarm has like the traditional Nerf Elite handle, which is quite comfortable. It's got a good groove here for your middle finger, and they're I don't know, I'd give that to the Strongarm. I think that it's got the better handle. As far as trigger pull goes, Hammershot all the way. Strongarm has a much longer trigger pull, whereas the Hammershot is very quick. That's not just an exercise in me moving my fingers faster. There is less travel on a Hammershot trigger, which I like. I prefer that. I want an instantaneous response from my blaster. Performance isn't even worth talking about. These blasters perform roughly the same. Hammershot shot a little bit further that time. That time the Strongarm shot a little bit further. We are using SE&C darts, so we're going to get some variability there, and those were roughly on par. These are two stock blasters that have both seen some play in the loaner bins at the SE&C. As far as the prime goes, the prime is going to determine, I guess it's a big factor in which camp you fall in. If you have small, meaty hands, the Hammershot is not going to be a comfortable prime for you, even like very small hands. For me, I have long fingers and large hands, so for me it's very comfortable to one-hand prime my Hammershot, which makes it just absolutely a gorgeous sidearm for me. The Strongarm has slam fire, so if you're willing to go that route, you can slam fire it and empty it, in theory, much faster. I can fan a Hammershot, but that is difficult and wonky at best. Very tricky to aim while doing that. Slam firing a Strongarm also throws off your aim, but so be it. I've heard tell that this point here lets you prime the Strongarms so that you can dual wield them, but you can see that that was a misfire, and B, not very comfortable. It does work. Is it the best? I don't know. I think that modified, you certainly don't want to be doing that. And if you're using an unmodified sidearm, what are you doing with your life? So I don't really like dual wielding Strongarms. You can see that that is rather unwieldy for me, which is where I guess my game-changing, game-ending argument comes into play. If I'm carrying sidearms, especially for a pistol round type of game, this is where it's at. I want 2 Hammershots at the ready. I want 10 shots, not 5, and I want to be able to just mow down multiple opponents, crossing as I please with just a flurry of darts out of dual Hammershots. Does that require a special rig? Absolutely. You could also put them, I guess, in your back pockets like that, but I think that they're great. I'm firmly in the Hammershot camp, and it's entirely because of the size of my hands and the way that I like to wield pistols. I think that they're the ideal sidearm because I can reload an Alpha Trooper while drawing my Hammershot. There are just a lot of different things that are opened up, and it's a much more versatile platform for me, given that it is a one-hand primable usable blaster. And for me, that's worth the sacrifice of one shot. If you look at the debate, all of the Strongarm supporters just can't get over the 6-shot. They think that that is the big game changer, but I'm dual wielding, so in a fun way of looking at it, I have 4 more shots anyway. That said, that is my opinion on the Hammershot versus Strongarm debate. I think that the Hammershot wins hands down and is just the by far superior, both stock and modified Sambo, revolver, sidearm, pistol, what have you. But I'm interested to kind of see if anybody can come up in the comment section below with something that hasn't been voiced before. So if you like the Hammershots, tell me why you like the Hammershots. And if you are in that Strongarm camp, tell me what makes up for having a one-hand primable blaster. Like, how do you beat that? It's really tough for me. But that's my opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that this kind of opens up a creative discussion. Let's not get too crazy down there in the comment section. I don't have time to police it day in and day out. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one.